and welcome to the daily reading for all signs for today, the 26th of July, 2024, or whatever day you happen to be watching this. This is Ariel Gatoga, and we are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating on YouTube are the lovely Delene and the lovely Suzanne, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Dre. Thank you so much, moderators, and thank you to everybody for joining us. Today we are reading with this beautiful Gasman reproduction. This is the old, here it is, the old Gasman tarot that's been reproduced. And let's purify with this Roger and Gallet Extra Vieille Cologne. Old standby, 3 sprays in this room is more than sufficient. There are links to purchase each of these products in the video description of this video on my YouTube channel. If you're watching us on YouTube on a restream and you don't want to watch me shuffle, just use the timestamps right in the video description to get right to that reading. On YouTube, if you're watching us, just make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. And if you're on Twitch, please make sure you follow us on Twitch. You can watch on Twitch without any ads when you subscribe to us there. This reading does go out to a lot of people, so if for some reason it doesn't seem like it's making any sense to you, it may just not be meant for you. And if that's the case, you can disregard the reading and maybe check out the zodiacal readings for your sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. And you can find all of the most recent replays of our tarot readings right on the website, arielscorner.com. arielscorner.com. Just click on the free online tarot readings link right in that main menu. If you'd like to give us a donation, you can do that by going to paypal.me/arielgatoga, paypal.me/arielgatoga. If you're on YouTube, you could use a super sticker, super chat, or super thanks if you feel like giving a donation on that platform. We do appreciate your support, and we really do appreciate you being here for this reading. I like to do a lot of shuffling, which is why we give you those timestamps, because the more you shuffle, I find the more accurate the readings are. So thanks so much for being here. I think about 2 more shuffles ought to do us, and we'll give this deck a nice clean cut, and we'll see what's in the cards for everybody today. Like I said, it's the 26th of July, but not everybody's on the same time zone, etc. So whatever day you happen to be on this reading, it may just be your reading. So let's take a look here, and we can see that we have the Page of Cups, followed by the Knight of Wands, and then we have the Emperor card. Isn't that lovely? Okay, so that Emperor card is what you're headed towards, and the Emperor it's an important understanding of the authority that you hold. You have a lot of authority. A lot of times we give our power away because we don't think that we have the right sometimes to stake our claim, to be the emperor. And when you recognize that your life is your empire and you are an emperor, whether you like it or not, it's just that sometimes we're not very effective emperors. And you can, sometimes it's an interesting exercise to go just back through and look at the different kinds of emperors, like in Rome and wherever there's been empires, the different kinds of emperors there were. And there were some really bad ones. There were some really good ones. There were some really ineffective ones. And it's not so much that we have to say, okay, I'm going to be the emperor. You are the emperor. It's just what kind of emperor are you going to be? A lot of times we don't even realize that that's the power that we hold, that we are in this throne. So my experience with emperors is that the ones that are, my understanding of emperors is the ones that were the most effective were the ones that had the best advisors. And you have great advisors. You have an inner guide, and you can think of that inner guide as a single guide. You can think of it as a whole team if you want to. You can think of it as your intuition, however you need to conceptualize it. But that inner guide is always right, is always going to show you exactly where to go if you're willing to be quiet and listen. And the more you learn how to follow on the inner planes, the more of an effective leader you are in the world. And the opposite is also true. The more we think we are on top of it and we know what we're doing and we're making our decisions for ourselves and we take charge and we don't have any sense of following a spiritual guidance, we end up looking not so great on the physical world, in the physical world. So it's important to understand that that being the emperor doesn't mean that you have to become tough. It means that if you want to be successful as an emperor, is to learn how to follow on the invisible plane, learn how to follow guidance. All right, so then we have this Knight of Wands, and wands represent your work in the world. So this is one way that emperor energy that you have expresses itself. What do you love? What are your... Oh, I'm sorry, this isn't wands, this is coins. Hello, Ariel. read the label there. Just because he's carrying a wand doesn't mean it's the wands. It's the coins. So the coins represent your assets, your physical assets, what you find valuable, what you think is valuable, what's important to you in the world. And what you value will always color how you act, what motivates you. And this is saying that there's nothing wrong with having things like money and having things of value in the world, understanding that that's not the ultimate value. Money isn't the ultimate value, but it's very good to be able to have resources here. But those are reflections of ideas. Those are reflections of principles. And this knights are helpers, is telling you that you are getting all the help you need in the area of assets, money, health, whatever you need. You have the help available to you. But like we said before, what kind of an emperor do you want to be? If you're going to be an egotistical emperor, or one that thinks that they have to be self-sufficient, then you're not even going to you're either not going to recognize the help that's available, or you're going to refuse the help that's available. Don't do either of those things. Recognize that help is there and accept it, because it's coming straight from source. Whether or not it comes through a person, it's coming straight from source. Now, this Page of Cups is telling you that all of this whole reading is all about the good news. There's such good news. And the good news is hard for you to hear if you're not able to get quiet. Because the type of good news that's coming to you comes to you non-verbally. It gets downloaded. And the only way for it to be downloaded is for you to have a little bit of moment of quiet. Even if it's just a minute of quiet relaxation where you find some silence in your mind and you're able to receive that good news. And that good news is that all is well. Everything is working out. All is well. Everything is working out. And so much good is coming. And it's up to you to learn how to follow the guidance that's being given to you so that you can reap those results. And a lot of those results are going to be very, very tangible. Okay, we've got the Queen of Wands, we've got the Queen of Coins, and we've got the Five of Wands. Good stuff. So these two queens love to work together, and look how they're looking at each other. That's a great configuration of those two queens. They are very, very compatible. They work together. They travel to each other's kingdoms constantly. They're best friends. That's a great way to think of that. And these queens represent nurturing abilities within you. And so this is the ability, this Queen of Coins, the ability to nurture all of what we were just talking about, all of those physical resources and assets. And this Queen of Wands represents your ability to nurture your work and things that you love to do and things that you're good at doing, and maybe your job or career, business, and things like that. And you can see when they are working together and they are working happily together, which they happen to be in this particular configuration, that work brings wealth, and wealth brings more resources to upgrade the work, which brings more wealth, which upgrades the resources to bring more work, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a positive feedback loop, right? And when you recognize that this is what's at stake, all of this is what's at stake, and you recognize that maybe you're not or haven't allowed yourself to be the most effective emperor you can be, instead of getting angry with yourself and frustrated with yourself, if you notice that frustration comes up, instead of directing that toward yourself, direct it toward any of those perceived blocks that you have been trying to overcome. Because this anger here, this Five of Wands, is positive anger. If something is upsetting you, that's good. That's good. Think about it. Somebody's been abusing you and abusing you and abusing you. I'm not saying that that's happened, but I'm just using this as an example. Somebody's been abusing you for a long time, and maybe you didn't even recognize it for what it is. And then you kind of started waking up to the fact that, wait a minute, not everybody else is treated like this. How come I have to put up with this kind of abuse? And little by little, as you realize what's going on, you get really angry. And you say, I'm not putting up with this. And you put your foot down, right? That's a positive use of anger. And there's a lot of positive use of anger that it may be available to you today. So if you get angry, if you get frustrated, don't think, oh, that's toxic. I shouldn't have anger. Don't think that way today, because oftentimes that's true, but not today. Today, that anger, if it comes up, and it's not guaranteed that it will, but if there's frustration and anger that comes up today, listen to it. Maybe that's motivating you into that next echelon, making you break through that perceived ceiling of what's available to you. Because with these two queens working together, there really shouldn't be a ceiling. There really shouldn't be a ceiling, not with all this good news, not with all this support and help that's coming your way. The only ceiling is going to be in your mind. So if you notice that you get angry or frustrated with something today, let that anger propel you toward breaking through that ceiling, toward breaking through any of those perceived blocks or limitations that you think you might have, because you don't. You don't. But the Emperor might have been thinking, I'm not a very good emperor, or I didn't even know I was an emperor. I just figured I was wearing this armor and sitting in a throne because that's what we were doing now. I didn't get that I had this power, whatever it is. Once you realize that you have more power than you thought and that you can do so much more, the first impulse for some of us might be, oh, I'm so mad. I'm so mad that I let myself go through that. If you feel that way, let that propel you into breaking through and starting to have all of this success that is very clearly demonstrated in this reading. Look at this. Success, success, success. And it's all up to you as the Emperor, how you play it. Do you want to be successful, or do you want to play it easy? Do you want to be do you want to be timid? What do you want to be? And you want to be a benign but effective emperor. That's what you want. You want to be loved and loving. You want to bring blessings and prosperity everywhere you go. You want every part of your life to be benefited by you. And you want to be happy. You want to be prosperous. You want to be successful. All of those things. So any parts of your mind, your ego, or even other people that may have been sort of holding you back, once you recognize those today, if it makes you a little peeved, fine. Let that peevedness be the catalyst to push you through it. But it's, again, the Five of Wands is the type of anger that's just a moment. It's not anger for anger's sake. It's just a tool that Spirit can use to bring you from point A to point C, right? Okay, so we've got only one trump card, and that's a big one for you. So if you have time today, listen to that tarot meditation based on the Emperor card. The name of that meditation is Claiming Your Royal Powers. And you can find that and all the tarot meditations by following the link in this video description of this video on YouTube. It's a very powerful, very successful day, but you really have to recognize who you are as the Emperor in your life, or all of this is just theory, right? So allow yourself to download that good news, be guided, be led as you ask for that inner guidance. And if you get a little angry with stuff, let that anger be a propellant, because it's very temporary. And if you can't shake the frustration or the anger for some reason, it just means it's time for a little bit of exercise. That's all. Go get some exercise. Or if it's that stuck, go in your car, close the door, park the car, close the doors, roll up the windows and scream and yell. Have a little temper tantrum. That's fine. You can do that. Whatever it takes in a non-toxic way to move that energy, but that's there for something positive. It's there for you to have a breakthrough today. Today is a great day of breakthrough. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I so appreciate you. And thank you so very much to the amazing moderators. Today on YouTube, it was Delene and Suzanne, and on Twitch, it was Dre. And we'll see everybody for another daily reading tomorrow. Blessed be.